Welcome, Tailgate Legends, to Week 11. I just realized that I haven't posted a video since Week 7, so it's been a month. I did not realize that. I literally thought I missed like a week or two. I look and I'm like, oh, goddamn. Yeah, sorry, guys. As you can see, I'm rocking a pretty amazing mustache. I don't know. I might keep it just rolling forever. I don't know. I'm kind of getting used to it here. So, yeah. So here we go. Week 11. I look like Arthur Smith. Some of your fucking teams are trash. Some of your teams are really fucking good. And we're going to talk about all of it. Got a good video for you today. We're going to run through last week's matchups, standings. I'm going to do a little segment. I don't really have it completely planned out in my head. I'm going to kind of wing it, but I'm going to talk about trades and just kind of league activity that I suspect might be going on, between trades and stuff like that. So this time of year right now is gets real exciting for me. So we're going to talk about that, and then I'm going to run through next week's matchup. So it might be a little longer video than normal, but we'll see. Okay, the first matchup we have is Ricky 2000 from last week against Country Roads Take Mahomes, so Boggs against Roofer. Roofer gets the win, 120 to 101. Roofer did just text me not that long ago, a couple hours ago, and said he is undefeated since I talked shit about his team in my last video. So you're welcome. Yeah, so big game out of Baker Mayfield. Oh, jeez. Big game out of Deontay Foreman. Team's coming around, put up 120 again. He probably would have got beat by half the teams this week, but he was going up against Boggs, who only put up 101. Team didn't look that good. He's got some players on buys. Mahomes on a buy, stuff like that. So, yeah, that's what we got there. Dang, and Roofer had Devin Singletary on his bench with 30. Ugh. Still won. Good for you. Okay, next we have Cheeseheads with Attitude against More Rice Hurts My Little Tank Bigsby, so I use a walker. That's Burns. Burns gets the win, 103 to 79. So that's nice. 103 to 79. Both teams pretty much sucked. Kenneth Walker got him 23. Ramondre got him 16. And his kicker got him 21. So that's cool. So nice job, Burns. Next, we have Chase and Lamb against Live Laugh Olave. Chase and Lamb, Whitey against Lemke, sorry. Whitey comes away with the win, 174 to 116. That's a really, really, really good week. 174 out of Whitey, high score of the week. His whole team erupted. Herbert with 38, Ford with 17, Chase with 23, CeeDee Lamb with 35, TJ Hawkinson with 26. On the other side, not a whole lot going on. Josh Allen, 17. Josh Allen has looked like dog shit. But yeah, Josh Allen, Chris Olave, 19, and not much going on there. But yeah, so Whitey gets the win. Next, we have Shear against Pump and Munch. Evan against Yacht. Shear comes away with the win, 152 to 105. 152, that might be the most points I've seen Evan put up in a long time. 22 out of CJ Stroud, who looks mighty good. Jahmyr Gibbs with 29. Keenan Allen with 38. George Kittle with 22. Yacht, team just didn't look that good. The Dolphins were on a bye, so he didn't have Tua. And he didn't have Tyreek Hill. So, yeah. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But something to kind of keep an eye on, because now Yacht is on a 2-game skid. We'll see. I'm right behind. Well, me and Lemke are tied, and we're only 1 game behind him. So Yacht has a little work to do to get the number 1 seed anyway. Next, we have Sam and Co. Against Shit the Bed Fred. So Sam against Prusk. Prusk gets the win, 133 to 117. Yeah, Prescott had a good game. I mean, Jared Goff with 29, David Montgomery with 22, Latavius with 19, just all around good scores. And then on the other side, Samco, Amon-Ra St. Brown had 30, Najee Harris with 19. I mean, not really much else going on besides that, except on his bench. 24 from Jalen Warren on his bench, Geno Smith with 31, Sam Howell with 35. Yeah. 20. Yeah, you could have won. Yeah, you could have won. You play the right people. You could have won. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? And then last, it was me against Lemish. Tainted Love against Lemmy Winks. And Lemmy Winks did beat me 122 to 136. 122. I want to say there were not many teams that outscored me. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 3. 3 teams outscored me. All right, yeah. So I had a decent week, 122. My potential points was 131, so there's no way I could have won. But Lemish had a really good game out of Brock Purdy with 31, Eckler with 22, Mike Evans with 28. Me, Burrow got me 28, Bijan got me 23, Javonte with 21. It is what it is. I really needed that win. I wasn't super confident going into Monday. Monday had Stephon Diggs and Javonte Williams. I was not super confident just because I knew Surtain was going to be shadowing Diggs. So it was like, yeah. And Javonte has been playing a lot better now the last couple weeks. But I'm like, yeah, I'm going to need like 20 plus out of both of them. So, yeah, all right. So standings real quick. I want to go through these because they're really close. Really, really close. Lemmy Winks is in first at 6-4 in his division. Burns is at 6-4 and Chase and Lamb are at 6-4. After that, you have Shear and Sam & Co. both at 4-6 and Boggs is at 3-7. So Boggs might be the only one that's really out of it. I mean, it's tough. Yeah, he's on a 2-game skid now. Top 4 teams here all won. Sam & Co. lost, and then Boggs lost. But yeah, your guys' division wiped the floor with us this week. 4-2, 4 wins on your guys' side, 2 on ours. We're gonna have to step her up. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm really excited to see what happens here. Shear and Sam are both only 2 games back. We're in week 11, so we got 11, 12, 13, 14. Or 11, 12, 13, 14. We got 4 weeks left, right? We go to 14 and then 15, 16, 17 is the playoffs. Yeah, okay. So we got 4 weeks left. Yeah, so Boggs is pretty much out of it. Yeah, that stinks. I did predict him to make the playoffs, so that's probably why he didn't. Sorry, bud. Next, we have our division. Yacht Pump and Munch is at 7-3. Me and Lemke are at 6-4. Landon's at 5-5. And then Roover's at 4-6. And then Prusky's at 3-7. But holy shit, it's like, I don't know, man. I'm 1 game up on Landon, 1 game behind Yacht. There are 5 people that like really, really could make the playoffs here. And like, dude, even Roofer's only 3 games back from first, so yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be kind of crazy here. For some reason the site logged me off, so give me 1 second. So I do want to go into a little bit of what's going on, or what usually goes on this time of year. So right now we have really close races in both divisions, and normally it's a little more separated than that. And something that I don't really talk about in my videos or even in public or whatever, with like when I'm hanging out with you guys, is my mindset and my thought process when it comes to making trades, and I guess just building my roster and keeping up with my roster throughout the year. Because I probably have as much turnover, via trades or cuts or whatever than anybody. And I do that purposely. I know a few of you guys give me shit for offering trades, but I don't feel like I offer that many trades. I think you guys are just dramatic, but that's just me. So in Dynasty, the mindset, and again, this is all just my personal opinion. This is not like an expert's opinion or something, anything like that. Just my personal opinion. So in Dynasty, you always have to be forward thinking. It's not like a redraft where you're like, okay, I have to win this week. I have to win next week, and you're just worried about probably the next 4 or 5 weeks. That's all you're really worried about. And that's all you really have to be worried about. In Dynasty, there's such a bigger picture going on. And one of those thoughts that you really need to have is around this time of year, you need to consider, okay, am I going to make a run at the playoffs, or am I not going to make a run at the playoffs? Me personally, I am making a strong run this year. And the reason is whoever wins this year has a chance at like probably the largest payout in tailgate history and for the foreseeable future. Because if you win this year and you win next year is a Super Dune year, you get the Dynasty pot and you get the Super Dune money, and you obviously get the winnings from first place this year and first place next year. So there's a ton of money on the line. So, and money isn't everything to me in this league. I do like to win money. I more or less like to take your guys' money, but I just like to win, But right now is one of those times I'm looking, and I promise you, I'm looking at any roster that I feel that person is like, okay, it's not happening for me this year. I'm going to kind of try to just move on from some of my assets, try to gain some picks, try to gain some cheaper players, or try to gain some players with more years on their contract, because that's really what you're looking for. If you're rebuilding, or you're kind of maybe not giving up, but you're just like, it's not happening for me. What are you looking for? You're looking for cheaper players on longer contracts, and picks, right? If you're going for a run this year, which I'm going to, what am I doing? Well, I'm trying to cherry pick players that are more expensive and shorter contracts. That's what I'm looking for right now. And honestly, it's kind of nice because like I took on Stephon Diggs this past offseason. Well, that's okay. I know he's expensive, but the most important part for me was that he was only 1 year. It was really important. If Stephon Diggs had 2 years left and I was going to be forced to make a decision this offseason about Stephon Diggs, I wouldn't even thought about taking him on. But he had 1 year left. So I'm like, okay, well, that money's coming off the books at the end of the year. And I have a bona fide superstar receiver for 1 year. That's what I'm looking for. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So right now, that's what I'm looking for. And not just players on shorter contracts and more expensive, but older players, somebody like a Devontae Adams. I mean, I know he's expensive, like I get it, and he's on Yach's team. That's why I came up with this example. But let's just say Devontae Adams was on Boggs' team, right? Boggs just traded away A.J. Brown, which was a fantastic move. No reason to keep him, right? And everybody's like, well, I could get a better pick in the draft, and it's like, dude, you're a fucking moron. If you're thinking about the draft right now, you're a fucking moron. Why the fuck would you be worried about the first pick, the second pick, the third? Like, dude, your team sucks. You're going to get a top 4 pick, okay? You don't need the number 1 overall pick to build a strong team. You just don't. And what happens if you go into the toilet bowl and you lose in the first round? Well, then you're stuck with your old ass players for a lot of money and low number of years on his contract, and you don't have the number 1 overall pick. Like, only one person gets the number 1 overall pick, and every single draft has multiple good players, right? Like, I traded for Bijan this year, but if I had the number 2 pick and I had Gibbs, I probably would have tried to get the number 1 overall pick, but I'd be like, I don't know, I'm good with Gibbs. You know what I mean? So just stuff that I think about. And then you really, really, really have to think about value, right? And I know that's something that I love having the conversation of valuing players, because you really have two different kinds of values. You have your objective value and you have your subjective value. It's just like the stock market, right? Anytime new information is, anytime you have more information on a player, their value changes. That's just the way it is. Every single week, every single player has changed in value. Every single one, because new information has, because we've got more information on that player. Now, maybe it changes by a lot, maybe it changes by a little, I don't know, but it always changes. The second you draft a player, right, in the rookie draft, like, their value has changed. It's like driving a car off the fucking parking lot, you know what I mean? But sometimes the value goes up, sometimes it goes down. But as soon as you draft that player, like a quarterback in the middle of the first round, like, I don't know, nobody's giving you a middle of the first round pick for that player. I mean, you could offer a trade the day after the draft, right? I took so-and-so with the 6th pick. Do you think if I knew I had the 6th pick, I'd be trading for a quarterback? Fuck no. Like, hell no. So you have subjective and objective value. Objective value, I'll just kind of, talk about it a little bit. Objective value is, those are your stats. That is objectively, without any bias, no opinion, no nothing. What numbers is this guy putting up, and how does it relate to draft pick value or other player comp value? Things like that. Objectivity is super important, and I think gets overlooked a lot in fantasy football because people make so many decisions based off of names and subjectivity. And subjectivity is really the market value, right? That's, what do I think this player is worth? And what I think some players are worth, the league might not think they're worth that. Okay. And that's his market value. So I can't argue with it. And it's vice versa. It's like, okay, well, the market might think that my player is valued very highly, and maybe I don't think he's valued very highly. And then I'll trade him. I mean, that's just the way it is. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I lose a good amount of trades and I win a good amount of trades, but I make a shit ton of trades because I'm always forward thinking and I'm always thinking about my next move. And to me, I don't get as attached to these players as some people do. To me, they're mostly just a value. You know what I mean? A great example from me, great example is Dallas Goedert. So he's hurt right now, but I tried to trade him because I have Mark Andrews, and now I have Dallas Goedert, and I don't want both of them because it's just a waste having two good tight ends on my team when I should be trading away one of them. Now, I did try to trade away Mark Andrews, and I'm really glad that I didn't. But I tried trading Mark Andrews. It didn't work out with Whitey. And then I tried trading Dallas Goedert. I probably offered him to 4 different people, and a couple people were very interested in it. And I asked for a second rounder, right? And I thought, okay, second rounder. And what I did, I offered them to players based on what I think your perception is of your team, players that I think will have, they think will have a high first round pick, a second round pick, somewhere in the middle, and then somewhere at the end, right? So like Boggs, I offered him to Boggs for a second rounder, and Boggs like, okay, I'll think about it. But to me, it's like, okay, well, he probably thinks he's giving up a middle of the road second rounder, right? Probably thinks that. Then I offered him to Evan. I know Evan thinks he's going to have a very good second round pick, right? And then I also offered him to, who did I offer him to? It might have been Burns. It was somebody, maybe Lemish or Burns, I don't know. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, they think they're going to have a very late second round pick. So I'm kind of covering all the areas, and I'm trying to see, okay, the market is made up of 12 teams, excluding me, 11 teams, I want to see where the market thinks Dallas Goedert is, right? I just want to see, where do we think he is? And you want to know what I found out? He's not worth a second round pick, okay? So then I was going to offer him for a third round pick because, like, fuck it. I don't want Dallas Goedert on my team because I have Mark Andrews, so I don't want Dallas Goedert. So then I'm like, okay, I'll offer him for a third rounder to somebody who thinks they're going to have a good third rounder, and then somebody who's going to have a middle of the road third rounder. I didn't get that far because he got hurt, and then I'm like, well, I'm not offering a hurt player. So that's just kind of what went on in my head. And now this offseason is going to be, it's going to be weird because normally I would try to trade a couple of my players. Well, I'm not really going to do that this offseason because I'm making a big push this offseason, and I'm making a big push next offseason. This year and next year. So that's kind of where I'm at with my thought process on, trades right now. You need to be making trades. I mean, you should be making trades. If you're a shit team and you think you're not going to make the playoffs, you need to figure out, okay, what players do I have that I can get more draft capital, or I can get cheaper players, better players, players with longer contracts, things like that. Where can I take advantage of some of these powerhouse teams that think they have a chance to win? How can I take advantage of that? And then conversely, if you're a powerhouse team, how can I take advantage of the weaker teams, right? Try to pick off one or two really good players, the one or two really good players on their team to help myself make a push. And then you have to think about, okay, well, what am I willing to sacrifice? Right now I have 2 first-round picks next year and 2 second-round picks next year. And I can promise you, I will not have all those picks on my team in the next, I will say 1 week, maybe two. I will not have those picks on my team because I will be trading them away for really good players, or at least trying to. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. I know a couple of you guys give me shit for offering trades and that whole thing, but genuinely, I'm super fascinated by trading, by player values. They're like super fun conversations for me to have. Cause I do like to know like market values of these players. Like, where do you guys think they are? And we all know it only takes one person. Like, we get it. It only takes one person. I trade with everybody though. Like, there isn't a single team in this league that I haven't traded with probably multiple times. And that's pretty much how I do it, is I offer trades and I just try to cover all my market value bases. I kind of want to just find out, okay, do we think that he's worth a late second, an early second? And it really doesn't matter what I think. I'm trying to gauge what you guys think because I'm trying to maximize the value of my player. So super fun for me. I mean, I'm willing to talk about it anytime you guys are. It's, great conversation. So that's all I have for that. Again, I was kind of winging it. So if I missed something or you guys had thoughts of your own or anything, just let me know. So next, I'll go through next week's predictions. There we go. All right. First. Okay. We have. Big matchup here. Lemish against more Rice Hurts, my little tank Bigsby, so I use a walker. Burns. First and second place in their division, respectively. Same record, though. So, this is what we got. Brock Purdy against Jalen Hurts. I mean, you got to go Hurts there. I think you got to go Hurts there. Devon Achane, which I guess I don't know if he's playing or not. I think they took him off the IR. I'm not 100% sure if he's playing. Against Austin Eckler, and I'm taking Austin Eckler there. Tony Pollard against Travis Etienne. Definitely taking Etienne. Tony Pollard been ass this year. Super weird too, because like, I don't know, everybody was super excited about him, but has been ass. Mike Evans against Kenneth Walker. I'm going Kenneth Walker there. DeAndre Hopkins against Cooper Kupp. I'm going Cooper Kupp. Rashee Rice against Garrett Wilson. Going Garrett Wilson. Jake Ferguson against Dalton Schultz. Going Dalton Schultz. Ugh. I'm going Burns. I don't like it though. I don't know. Lemon's got a really good team. Lemon's has like legitimately a good fucking team. Ugh. Yeah. But I'm going to go Burns here. Burns got a good team too. Okay. Next we have Chase and Lamb against Sam & Co. This is the week. So we got Whitey against Sam & Co. Sam & Co. is 2 games back of the playoffs. Chase and Lamb is one of those teams that they are fighting against. So this is basically right here, right now, Sam & Co. If you win this week, you're in it, right? Like you're in the race. If you lose this week, you're in big trouble. You're in big trouble. Hang on, guys. He's shit. Yeah, so we got Lamar Jackson against Justin Herbert, and I'm gonna go Lamar Jackson, I think. Yeah, I'll go Lamar. Najee Harris against Jerome Ford. Honestly, I'm taking Jerome Ford. I just don't like Najee Harris. He sucks. Then we got Tank Dell against Derrick Henry. I'm taking Tank Dell. Jahan Dotson against Jamar Chase. Definitely taking Jamar Chase. Drafted Jahan Dotson in Woodchuck's league, and I literally told Boggs, hey, we got to grab Jahan Dotson. I love Jahan Dotson, and he has been fucking terrible. Not even just terrible. He has been worse than terrible. Oh my gosh, I hate fucking Jahan Dotson. So anyway, then we got Michael Pittman against CeeDee Lamb. I'm definitely taking CeeDee there. And then Debo against Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm going to take Amon-Ra there. TJ Hawkinson against Gerald Everett. Taking Hawk. Oh, man. I am going to take Whitey here. I'm going to take Whitey. I think the combination of Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, and Debo is just, it's going to be too much. Yeah, I think it's just going to be too much. So we'll see. We'll see. Next, we have Country Roads take Mahomes against Shear. Got CJ Stroud against Patrick Mahomes. Oh my God. And I legitimately don't even know who's going to win that specific matchup because CJ Stroud is so good. And Patrick Mahomes is like, he's really good, but he's not like Patrick Mahomes this year. I'll give it to Mahomes. I think CJ Stroud has a down game. Then we got James Cook against James Conner, and I'm going to take James Cook, I think. Yeah, I'll take Cook. Breece Hall against Jahmyr Gibbs. That's a toss-up, but I'm taking Gibbs there. Dude, and that's just because the Lions' offense is rolling. And then Alexander Madison against Jordan Addison. I'm taking Jordan Addison by a mile there. Nico Collins against Keenan Allen, taking Keenan Allen. Josh Downs against DJ Moore, and then Kittle against Kincaid. I'm actually going to go Kincaid there. Kincaid is like a little more consistent. Kittle is like all or nothing on a week-to-week basis. So I am actually going to take Shear in this one. Yeah, I am going to take Shear in this one. Man, your team is heating up here. Okay. All right, next we have Shit the Bed Fred against Live Laugh Olave. Lemke against Prusk. I already know I'm going Lemke, but Josh Allen against Jared Goff. That actually is a good matchup. Aaron Jones against David Montgomery. Look. Montgomery probably. DeAndre Swift against Devontae Smith. Definitely taking DeAndre Swift. Ayuk against Sutton. Ayukin. A.J. Brown against Jamison Williams. Oh, A.J. Brown by a mile. DK Metcalf against Travis Kelce. Taking DK Metcalf. Kate Otten against Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet, I guess. I'm going to take Lemke, but that might be a little closer than people think. But maybe not. Okay, and then next we have me, Tainted Love, against Cheeseheads with Attitude. Landon. This is a huge, huge week for me. For two reasons. Well, for my reason and for his reason. Landon right now is only one game back of me and Lemke. So if Landon beats me, right, it doesn't really matter what Lemke does. It doesn't really matter. If Landon beats me, Landon, I believe, is in the playoffs because he will have, and if not, it's because I beat him already this year. But either way, he will then have a tied record with somebody making the playoffs, right? And then if I win, he will then be 2 full games back from me with 3 weeks to go. So if I win this week, that pretty much solidifies me being in the playoffs. Like, I'm not mathematically there, but I'm pretty much there. So this is a huge week for me. Fuck. All right. And then last we have Yacht Pump and Munch against Ricky 2000. Dude, this is the same thing, man. If Yacht wins, like, he's in the playoffs. Like, Yacht wins, he's in the playoffs. This week, mathematically, he is in the playoffs if he wins this week, I believe. Well, maybe not. But if he wins, he pretty much mathematically eliminates Roofer. Then I only got to worry about Landon. So I don't know. I'm kind of rooting for Roofer, though. Oh, it'd be so awesome if he made it. Not if he made it in front of me, but if he made it in front of Lemke, that'd be hilarious. Okay, so, oh my God, I didn't even go through my matchup. Hang on. Okay, Tainted Love, Cheeseheads with Attitude. Joe Burrow against Kenny Pickett. I'm taking Joe Burrow. Kareem Hunt against Joe Mixon. I'm taking Joe Mixon. Javonte Williams against Brian Robinson. Toss up. Might take Brian Robinson, though. I don't know. Javonte looked pretty good, finally. Stephon Diggs against Marquise Hollywood Brown. I'm taking Diggs. Christian Kirk against Chris Godwin. I'm taking Kirk. Dude, Kirk's been so good for me this year. Christian Watson against Deontay Johnson. I'm taking Deontay Johnson. Mark Andrews against Tyler Conklin. I'm taking Mark Andrews. So I'm taking me. I am taking me. And Justin Jefferson might come back this week. So if Justin Jefferson comes back, definitely putting him in somewhere. I don't know where. Okay, and now we have Yacht against Ricky 2000. Yacht against Roofer. We got Baker Mayfield against Tua. I'm taking Tua there, but I don't know. Baker's been on a tear. Saquon against Christian McCaffrey. Obviously taking McCaffrey. Isaiah Pacheco against Josh Jacobs. I think I'm taking Josh Jacobs, but Pacheco's been pretty good. Devontae Adams against Amari Cooper. I'm taking Devontae Adams because Amari Cooper does not have a quarterback anymore. Puka Nacua against Tyreek Hill. I'm taking Tyreek. Tyler Lockett against Jalen Waddle. I am taking Tyler Lockett. Evan Ingram against Sam Laporta. Definitely taking Laporta. So I'm taking Yacht here. I'm taking Yacht. I think Yacht comes away with the win, knocks out Roofer, right? And everything is good in the world. So that's all I got. Yeah, good luck to everybody this week. This is gonna be a great week to keep track of all this stuff and watch, and yeah, it's gonna be a really fun week. So yeah, good luck. I'll see you guys next week? Question mark.